Hey, what's up guys, the Zombie Project here. We're playing some Call of Duty Ghost Safeguard mode. The map that you see here is called Freight. This map is actually my absolute favorite map to play for Safeguard mode on Call of Duty Ghost. This map is just fun to play, man. I really enjoy playing it. I'm going to give you some tips for Safeguard mode for this map, and you can use some of these tips on other maps also. But before I talk about that, I want to let you guys know I've been trying to hit 50 rounds for solo on this map for like ever. It seems like it's fucking impossible, man. It's driving me crazy. I've been trying to do it every day, but I keep coming up short. The highest I got was 46, and that was on Xbox 360. I played this one on Xbox One, and I got to 44. And it just seems like it's impossible to hit that 50, but I'm going to keep trying, so hopefully we can make it. But anyways, the tips I wanted to give you guys. The first tip was, when you get dog rounds, it's always easier to put your Sentry right where I put it, right down here, and hold off right down here where I'm at. When you get dog rounds, it's a lot easier. Also, with the Sentry gun, you can make your Sentry gun last in between 2 and 2.5 rounds. If you know what you're doing, that's one Sentry you can make it last that long. The Sentry gun is on an invisible timer, and this was found by myself and Boyster 2011. We basically had the same idea when we were playing, but Boyster's the one who actually tested it out, and it ended up working. And I was like, wow, dude, good find, man, good find. Anyways, what you want to do is when you put your Sentry gun out, once the round is over, you want to hold your Sentry, because that stops the invisible timer. And then when the next round starts, enemies start spawning in, then put your Sentry gun down, and the Sentry will last throughout that whole round also. So the Sentry will last 2 rounds if you pick it up and hold it in between rounds. Like I said, it basically stops that invisible timer. It's on the timer. But anyways, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was loot rounds. You get a loot round every 5 rounds. So after round 5, you get one. After round 10, after round 15, after round 20, after round 25, and so on. When you get loot rounds, if you have kill streaks still left over from your previous loot round, then you'll be able to get 4 kill streaks. As you can see, I got 4 kill streaks. You only see 3 on the side, but I just put my vulture out. So what I did was before I picked up my Sentry gun, I went and picked up the vulture first, so I could put that out and then pick up my Sentry so I could save my Sentry for later. So I have 3 sentries and I have a vulture in the air, so I got 4 kill streaks for these next 5 rounds. And if you use that little trick I showed you earlier, where you can use the Sentry for 2 rounds by holding the Sentry in between rounds, then you'll always be left over with a kill streak on the next loot round, if that makes sense. So it's a good little trick, and I think you guys should try that out. And that's what I do when I play Safeguard mode, and it really helps me out, and I think that's the whole reason why I've made it this far on solo. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was upgrading your weapon, also known as weapon proficiency. This is very important. This is probably the most important thing on Safeguard mode, especially if you're trying to make it far. If you upgrade your weapon to where it needs to be, it's going to make your life a lot easier. You're going to be able to kill these enemies a lot quicker. For instance, if your weapon is only at level 30 and you're on round 50, then it's going to be twice as hard to kill the enemies. But for instance, if your weapon is at level 50 and you're on round 30, it's going to be twice as easy to kill the enemies. So the higher you upgrade that weapon, the better, and the easier it's going to be for you. I recommend finding one weapon. I like the M27 over the chainsaw because it has better accuracy, it holds more ammo. So what I like to do is I like to get the M27, and then I focus on upgrading that gun and that gun only. I don't worry about my secondary. I just focus on that M27, and I try to get that upgraded as high as I can. And I'm gonna explain to you guys on how to upgrade your weapon. There are 3 different ways. Number 1, if you have an M27 and an M27 comes out in a support drop, and you pick up that support drop that carries the M27 while holding your M27, that will upgrade your M27 by 1 point. The second way you can upgrade your weapon is by picking up these weapon upgrades right here that you see here. So every time you pick that up, your weapon level gets increased. The third way is, you see that blue bar in the top left hand corner? Every time you kill an enemy, that blue bar fills up a little bit, and once it fills up all the way, your weapon level will increase. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was your Ghost Squad guy. This guy is the biggest buffoon I've ever seen in my life. He's an idiot, a retard. Like, I think his mother dropped him on his head when he was a kid. I don't understand how retarded this Ghost Squad guy is. There was one time I was playing Warhawk, and I ended up going down. I called out my Ghost Squad guy so he could revive me. He revived me perfectly fine, and then he jumps out the window and basically commits suicide, tries to take on all the enemies by himself. They killed him in like 3 seconds. And I wanted to show you this clip here. I go to pick up this weapon level increase, and then he runs up the stairs and he tries to take on all the enemies, and I'm like, no, get back here, dude. What are you doing, you idiot? And I try to kill all the enemies really quick. I try to go crazy and kill them all before they killed him, but they ended up killing him anyways. I just wanted to show you this because I think it's hilarious how dumb they made this guy. I wish there was a button that you could press where you could call him. Like, you press a button and it's like, get over here now, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to mention that to you guys. And also, your Ghost Squad guy should only be used if you go down, and I wanted to mention that because when I'm playing with randoms on random lobbies, these guys are always calling their Ghost Squad guy out at like round 5 or 6. And I'm like, no, guys, you're supposed to only call your Ghost Squad guy out if you go down. So for those who don't know that, I wanted to let you guys know that because it really helps out, especially if you're trying to make it far in safeguard mode. Alright, so let's move on. We're going on to round 44 right now. This is the last and final round. I showed you guys earlier in the video the best spot to camp when you have a dog round. When it's not a dog round, I like to camp this area here, put my sentry gun down, lay down on the floor, and basically spawn trap all the enemies right in the doorway. But I waited too long here. I held my sentry for way too long, and all the enemies ended up pouring into the room before I could lay down and before I could get into position and start shooting back at them. They were already in the room shooting at me, so I took too long to put that sentry gun down. It was a mistake that I made, and hopefully I don't make that mistake again in the future. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button for me. This one took a while to make, guys, so if you did enjoy it, make sure you smash that button for me. That's all I got for you guys right now. I'm the Zombie Project. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.